Okay, so we're over at the new system. It is now up and running. We still need to move over the clay balls, which is why we need to take the plants out of the other beds so that we can get some of the clay balls out of there and fill that up, and then we can put the plants in there, and then so on and so forth. But we need to get the clay balls out first. But this is the progress we've got on this one at the moment. This end bed's not on, but these two beds here are on and they're working happily. So we've got the pipes down there, and they run into that pipe down there and then run into the sump. So and that sump has got the pumps on there, like, let's see if I can that up. So that's the outlet from the fish tank. So it's got a lot of aeration happening as well. That's the outlet from the sump underneath the garden beds. Hopefully they'll get close to dumping their water soon, so I can show you how that all works. So in the fish tank, so the way it's currently working is there is one pump in there, and that pump is pumping water up to those two grow beds. It's not pumping into that one at the moment, and pumping into the fish tank through these two venturis. So the venturis just help to make sure everything is extra aerated. Now, the water doesn't look very clean, and that is because it's our dam water. But the other side of that, in a few days' time, I'll video it again, and you'll be able to see just how much it's cleaned up and how much filtration work the actual grow beds do. Now, yes, it's much better if you actually have a swirl filter and that sort of thing in the system, but we haven't got that set up at the moment. And we also haven't got the slow attached yet either. So we've got to get another pipe that comes out here that then attaches to that, and that goes down into the bottom of the fish tank. So it's called a slow, which is a solid lifting unit. I can't remember what the O stands for, but it's a solids lifting outlet, I guess. So it brings the solids from the bottom of the fish tank up and out so that they go down into the sump instead of just being stuck in the bottom of the fish tank. So yeah, so this is going to be the fish tank, and that other tank down that's in the ground is just the main sump. So this is where all the fish are going to be. At the moment, if there were fish in there, they would all be able to swim out through that little hole and end up in the sump. And that would be a problem. We don't want that. Which is the other reason why you want the slow on there, because it stops the baby fish from getting caught up and sucked into the pump. So yeah, this bed should be ready soon. So in here, so I showed you in one of my other videos how the bell siphon, so you got the standpipe, there's the standpipe, and it's up to about here. So when the water level gets to there, that's basically where it'll stop. Well, actually, it's the top of the bell siphon that determines the height of the water. So it'll get up to that, and then it'll drop. So we still got a fair few clay balls that need to come into here, as well as we need to add them into there. So I might just pause this for a little while we wait for this bed to fill. Okay, so we're getting close. As you can see, the water's just starting to go over the top of the standpipe. So I'm going to put the bell siphon back in. Make sure that's down in there properly. So as you can see, the water's just starting to come out. So you've got the outlet pipe there, and the water's just starting to come out there now. And this is where the beauty of the automatic siphon is about to start, assuming we've got the water flow in there right. There's a few things that you can adjust. Here it goes. There's a few things you can adjust if your siphon's not starting or not stopping. It's a little bit of fiddling around sometimes, but I'll do another video on that at some other point. So yeah, that's draining all the water from that bed. taken a little while to fill it up, but now it's emptying it. Now take you around. So, and it'll be going through that pipe and out to there. So it'll be going back into the sump again. So that's seeing the automatic siphon in action. And my husband's managed to turn this outlet pipe from the solid lifting outlet into a massive venturi, basically. So it's adding a whole heap of extra oxygen into the system, especially when it's got enough water in there so that it's actually underwater. As it's coming through the pipe, it's sucking air in through this hole, and it's just helping to aerate the water further, because extra aeration in the water is always a good thing, especially in our hot summers. So you can see that's still dumping. It takes a little while to drain the bed. There's a fair bit of water in there, and sometimes you've got to mess around with the water level, how much water is going into the bed, so that tap might be on a little bit too hard still. But you can see the water level dropping. Look down here, you might be able to see something or not. No, you can't really see much in there. You can see the water starting to drop in the clay balls. So this is why plants that don't like having their feet wet can cope okay in aquaponics, because they regularly get oxygen to their roots, because the water dumps out on a regular basis. I think the tap's on there a little bit too hard at the moment. So it usually dumps a lot quicker than that. But we turned it up a bit so that the bed would fill up a bit quicker. So that's just starting to get close to finishing. Now, if that water flow is low enough, it will actually stop completely all by itself. I suspect that the water's on a little bit too hard. It can sometimes take a little while to adjust the water so that it'll actually get to flow at the right rate, but that's not what this video is about, because I'm about to show you actually moving some of the plants and what the roots look like when you take them out of the aquaponics. See, I think that's definitely running a bit too fast. So I'm just going to pick up this bell siphon. You might be able to hear it, that the bell siphon is actually trying to stop. So I've stopped it now. Normally when it gets to those little holes, it stops happily, but the water's on a little bit too hard there. That's probably a good speed, good inflow on that one, but I'll get hubby to come in and fix that up in a minute. But yeah, so we'll go back and start getting some plants.